Hello everyone, and welcome to the back nine of round 2 lead card FPO coverage at the Ledgestone Insurance Open, presented by Discraft. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Madison Walker. We are the two hockeys.
Honk, honk, everybody. We got to see some hot scores on the front. Sarah Hokom, Hailey King, and Missy Gannon from, I believe, the chase card or maybe the third card, all 5 under par. I believe Paige is 3 under. Maria is 1, or she's even maybe. So she's dropping down the leaderboard a little bit. We're going to see a ton of people under par here. Very scoreable course for the FPO.
Yeah, everyone sitting around even par or 1 over is within striking distance of the lead card on this course because there are so many birdie opportunities. Hole 10 is one of the more challenging birdies, however, because these willows have gotten so thick and it makes it really hard to get close to the basket. There's a couple plays here. You can go early left before the willow trees and give yourself a long putt, or you can get aggressive and try to go into the willows and do a technical putt around some bushes and some weeping branches.
As you can see, the wind is blowing out here. I think this hole definitely calls for this kind of a sidearm that Hokom just threw. That was a beautifully shaped shot with her vanish. These willows, that was the ones that were right in front of the basket, were kind of given a little bit of a bang trim, like we couldn't see the basket in practice. And now it has straight across bangs to let you...
They did do a trim.
Yeah.
I knew it looked different today. I was like, it looked more approachable. The distance sidearm is definitely the play, but this hole plays, it's a little bit uphill, so it plays more like 320 or 330 uphill. So it requires that distance sidearm that a lot of the FPO competitors don't necessarily have in their toolkit.
Hailey, unfortunately, throwing it into the ground. Paige and Maria showing us the backhand route. And this is looking pretty good. It just needs to fade before that tree.
Gets tangled up just before it, but she looks like she'll still have a wide open putt.
Little routine zone approach here. Looks like it's fading too much. Nope, it's fine. I had and saw a couple of rollaways on this hole. It's on more of a hill than it looks on camera, I think. If you hit cage, you can definitely roll and find yourself in a bad spot down the hill behind those bushes.
Yeah, it's and it is blocked back there. Maria's drive looks like it kind of got kicked a little to the right. She still does a good up and down from over the bushes. Paige with a more open putt, but can't quite find the chains. I think that's the story of a lot of people's day out here, is giving yourself that, 35 or 40 foot look and just not either. It's all about being able to make those putts to score well out here.
Definitely. Hokom to go 6 down, which is an excellent score through 10. She's reeling in the leaders here.
What's nice about this course as well is it doesn't just favor a hyzer backhand. Really, any strong shot out here, anyone that's on fire is going to be finding the green. Does not favor one type of shot selection over another.
Hole 3 is a downhill 393-foot par 3. It used to be a pretty massive bog, but now it's just this little tiny guy. There's like a little pink circle you can see right there. And then an OB pond on the right there behind the pin. It actually comes in pretty close. If you accidentally flip your disc over, you can definitely find that water. It is reachable if you can throw it about 370 feet, I'd say.
The downhill definitely helps. It just forces you to really have good angle control. You can see Hokom flips her disc over, and really there's no rescuing it after that because the hill is so steep. It takes control of whatever angle you put your disc on and really highlights it. They definitely worked on the drainage on this fairway, but the course designer still wishes for the bog.
Oh man. Yeah, she launched that. So she'll have a circle 2 look to try to save the par, but it'll be difficult. And that is also pulled just a bit to the right, but it looks like it's stabling out in time. Almost. She'll have an easier look for her par save, maybe 28 feet or so.
When I step up to this hole, I want to so badly throw like a big Anheuser shot towards the pin, but that little tree on the left-hand side blocks that shot so perfectly, and it forces you to take a little bit more of an aggressive route. We can see Maria executing that really well here.
Yeah, she corrects the angle and just barely gets past the mini bog.
Hokom forced to just do a pretty straightforward pitch up for par.
I would classify this again as a bonus birdie, at least for your average pro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting this one, but it's possible.
Paige, unfortunately, going out of bounds, out in circle 2 land, giving it a bid, but not really having any sort of gimme putt from there. Maria looking for her birdie, leaves it just a little bit low.
Easy to do on uphill putts. Mm-hmm. Hailey to save her par.
Even with this being a bonus birdie, still 18% of the field getting a 2 on this.
Very cool.
7 competitors. It's pretty awesome. The field keeps getting better and better because a couple years back that would not be the case.
Your lead card struggling on this hole. And moving on to a bit of a long walk, maybe a nice stroll, we'll call it, to hole 12.
Hole 12 is, in my opinion, one of the scarier tee pads on the course. It's 383 feet, sharply downhill. All these trees on the right are absolute jail, but not out of bounds. There is a pond over on the right-hand side that is out of bounds, as well as a green just left of the basket and up this little hill. It sets up perfectly for rollaways. It is attackable, but I think we may see people playing a little bit more conservatively, taking their birdies where they come instead of forcing this challenging birdie. Sarah using all the airspace on the left-hand side, looking for it to come back, but definitely flips it more than you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bailout play. Oh, man, she goes so far that she finds that it's like a teeing area, OB, which is hard to do. Usually that's a pretty safe play to go out to that left side.
Wow.
This looks great. It looks like she disced down to like a mid or a putter even.
Yeah, that's
just outside the circle.
That's a great looking shot. The key here is to keep the height on it like we see Maria do it. Putting it over the trees instead of throwing downhill like sometimes you want to do.
I mean, I think you kind of need to throw it almost right at it, just a little to the right on a hyzer angle to get there. Just like that, just like Paige did. Paige and Maria both with kind of scary downhill death putts at the water.
This hole has a tendency to be a backup hole as well. So a lot of times you have to just sit up here and really ruminate on what you're going to do.
Just question your life choices. And
how did I get here today? Hailey using that bailout zone effectively. She'll pitch up from there and hopefully not get any sort of roll away.
Hokom with her, I would call it her first like real mistake of the round. And wow, that almost goes OB long. It must have
Was there a line painted down there?
I think it's just the water line. Yeah. Hailey leaving it really short. She's going to have to.
I know there was not a line.
Oh, wow. And she just concedes the bogey.
Oh. Ugh. That's hard to do out here.
Maria, big old straddle for the birdie.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Excited clap. One more time.
That is such a scary putt. And look at her, straddled all the way out, forced it with the low ceiling. Really has to fully commit to that nose down. If you miss it, it's going a mile past.
This is one of the best feeling birdies out here, I think. It is difficult to get both the drive and the putt right. Man, Hokom dropping down, to a double bogey on this hole?
Paige.
Yeah, really nice birdie. Oh, God. You say it.
We're impressive. We're so impressed.
We're both very impressed by Paige and Maria.
This is one of the few holes that I think can spiral out of control quickly and be a double bogey. It was the second most difficult hole on the course, and there was a slew of double and even a couple triple bogeys. So we won't see that very often here at Sunset Hills.
Hole 13 is 280 feet. It is an island. We're probably going to see all these ladies going for it. There is a layup play that you can take. It's pretty much straight off the tee, but you kind of want to hyzer out more to the left. It feels like you want to throw it straight, but you need to throw it straight with a pretty hard finish to do it correctly. That looked too low, but I don't know if she's out of bounds.
I can't tell if that was I think it's pitch up.
Safe. I think she was going for it and just threw it really low.
Mm-hmm. Paige going for the green here.
Yeah. And from there, you almost think, oh, that's got to be OB. It's so far left. But for whatever reason, if you just pull it a little to the right, every time you think you made it, you didn't. And every time you think you missed it, you made it.
Yeah. Shanks are good here. Almost.
It just, when it's blind like that, it's just kind of deceiving.
Mm-hmm.
Like this might be too wide. Oh. Well, it slows down with that little branch hit. And
did she land in the path?
She landed like basically right by the drop zone, which if you go out of bounds, we'll see.
Almost like she couldn't decide whether she wanted to lay up or go for it.
Hokom just laying up. This is the one where it felt like a headwind off the tee, and then you get here and it felt more like a tailwind. Ooh! I think a layup here is pretty smart. It's pretty easy to mess this one up and then have to take an automatic bogey. Basically, we can see the drop zone, basically right where Maria is, that painted line with the little flag right in front of Hailey.
Maria and Hailey both really pushing that out of bounds.
Yeah, pretty fortunate for them to both stay in.
Yeah, that does not happen very often.
Paige for the 2.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, she's kind of running away with it at this point. Just in the last couple holes.
Starting to look comfortable from the circle's edge, right outside the circle. That's when you know things are going to get dangerous. %28 of the field with a birdie or better. 33 with a bogey or worse. Really nice looking women's hole. Some high risk reward.
All right. Let's check in with the leaderboard here. Let's see. Missy Gannon, super hot, 6 down through 14. We got a bunch of people at 4 under par, and Hailey at 3, and then a lot of people kind of in that 1 to 2 under range. Really nice looking top 10 here.
Wish we could see Missy shooting hot out here. 6 down feels really good.
I suspect we'll see her tomorrow.
Yes, I suspect as well. Hole 14 is a par 3. It's 330 feet. It's definitely reachable, but there's this low ceiling area with the 3 trees that blocks the green pretty effectively. It forces you to really commit to your shot. There's out of bounds on the left-hand side and the right-hand side in the tall bushes that you can find if you're just flips or if it hyzers out too soon.
These trees on the right side make it so you have to throw a straighter shot rather than just more of a hyzer that finishes. It's a simple shot, but it's also, it's not super technical, but the course designer forces you to throw the way that they want. Mm-hmm. And obviously the sidearm is there as well for Hokom.
Maria slides into her shot, but still gets every bit of the distance.
Yeah, parks it. Beautiful.
That's a lot more of what you will see out here, landing just about circle's edge short.
Yeah, it's not that far, but I think just that the way that the shot is shaped is just really easy to do that. Just land just outside the circle. Wow, beautiful shot from Hokom right next to that tree. On a 40-footer for birdie.
Finding a lot of chains, but not quite enough to find the bottom of the basket.
We'll be getting right back on track there with a birdie.
Even though I feel like this hole is well within reach for most of the FPO field, there's only 23% of the field with birdies. I feel like that's lower than I expect.
I don't know. This one's like sneaky hard for some reason.
It is. It's sneaky distance.
It's not hard to par. It's just
Only one bogey on the field throughout the
Yeah.
day, so
some really nice birdies from our lead card here. And Hailey conceding the par.
this is kind of a nice little breather between the last hole that's got a lot of out of bounds and then this difficult par 4. It's 555 feet, but it's got the dog leg course design that we saw a lot of at Northwoods. You want to beat these out of bounds tree area on the left-hand side and hopefully open up your second shot to go down this tunnel to the basket. The out of bounds goes all the way down the left-hand side and wraps around the back side of the basket. It's super low ceiling. I absolutely adore this hole. I think it's amazing. But it is very challenging.
It's, super difficult, easy to mess up. The safest way to play it is to throw something straight that fades to the right a little bit, like pretty much exactly like Paige is doing. I mean, ideally, it pushes just straight without going too far right. But if you fade out to the left, it pinches your angle dramatically. So even though it seems like, maybe she's too far over, it's actually going to open up her shot, even though it increases the distance just a little bit.
This low-hanging branch off the tee pad is pretty difficult to navigate. It's just in your head. It's not necessarily in the shot, but it's there. You can see Maria maybe thinks about it as she throws and leaves her disc lower than she wants. This is one of those holes, too, where once you make a mistake off the tee, it's really easy to just start spiraling while trying to save your positioning.
That was a relativity from Hokom, and she just makes it to the corner. She might have a hard time shaping her shot around, or she'll just have to shape a really dramatic shot potentially around that corner.
Hailey running into the same issue as Maria, and at this point, it's all about trying not to be super aggressive.
Right.
It feels like you want to try to push this gap and penetrate down the fairway, but you could easily go out of bounds on the left-hand side, trying to get too aggressive on your second shot.
Or push too straight, like Hailey just did. I mean, and maybe Maria a little bit. Those aren't bad shots, but if you land a little bit shorter, it's certainly easier to get to the green. Oh no.
Paige with kind of a misfire, but
Lucky tree hit.
Yep, gets saved by that tree. Bounces her back in the fairway.
This can be hard because you're on a hill, or at least Paige was. Hokom farther up than I thought just a bit, and actually has a really nice line, just a bit low, dealing with that low ceiling.
A birdie on this hole feels pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, it feels amazing. Hailey getting caught up. Now she'll have a very long look for her par save.
Maria forced to throw a sidearm as well. It looks like it's a blind shot, but she still finds the edge of the circle.
Yeah, this hole is awesome. I mean, it's humbling. It can reward really, really good shots, but it's similar, like you said, to Northwoods Black, where, you really got to find the landing zones. You can't push too far or be too short.
It's yet another hole where you're really kind of forced to play for par and maybe birdie if it's given to you, but in reality, you're playing for par. You're okay with getting a par. You have to throw 3 good shots to get a par.
Great shot. Well, yeah, good shots and 3 great shots to get the birdie.
Only 2 birdies on the day. Congrats to Callie McMorrin and Kat Murch.
Oh, man. Splashes out. Maria settling for the bogey. And Hailey as well.
Yeah, once you mess up your tee shot on this hole, it is so hard to recover from there.
Yeah, one bad shot and you're almost guaranteed a bogey.
I'd love to see. I'm sure Sunset Hills will continue to stay the same for a few years, but I would love to see more of this type of hole design on a golf course using the edges. I think this is a really, really awesome women's hole.
All right, coming into the home stretch here. Hole 16 is another par 3, 352 feet. It's a pretty technical distance shot. If you're throwing righty backhand, you're trying to throw basically flat and let it just have an anhyzer shot that ends up going towards the right to end on this. It's on a hill, I guess. It's really easy to flip it and go way down the hill, or have it fade out too far to the left. There's no out of bounds anywhere really, but it's hard to get all the way there like this. Beautiful.
Wow.
So perfect.
So sick.
I think that was her passion.
The trees on the right-hand side block the flex shot so effectively. It forces you to either have a distance sidearm, like we were hoping to see from Hokom, or a full Annie shot the entire way. The straight shot that we saw from Paige is so difficult. It's not something that we're going to see a lot of women having in their bags. You almost just want to use that open airspace and let the anhyzer carry as far as possible.
Yeah, Maria was really close to getting it. Perfect distance, just not quite enough turn to the right. But she's up there for an easy par and maybe a little bit of a look. Hailey overturning her sidearm pretty drastically.
Yeah, trying to power that sidearm all the way down this 350-foot hole and overpowers it, which is an easy mistake to make when you're throwing distance sidearms.
Oh man, a little early soft release.
It's easy to start getting a little flustered out here because you feel almost like it's a birdie or die course.
Ooh, yeah.
And Maria stays alive.
That was huge.
That was gigantic. Let's watch it in slow-mo. GK
like
replay.
55? 50?
And full commitment.
Yes.
I mean, it drops off behind the basket, too. If that's missing, that's going bye-bye.
Hailey to save her par. Yeah. It is, like you said, very easy to get frustrated out here when you're not getting the birdies, and then you start to pick up strokes. The anger just rises.
Erika, how are you feeling on the course today?
We don't have to talk about that. We're just going to talk about this.
Nice par.
I think we maybe missed Hokom's upshot. I think she was kind of far down that hill and recovered well, because you do have some trees blocking you from down there.
Some big bushy trees.
And Paige with a stellar birdie there. Probably not too many of those on the day.
There were 6 birdies on the day. So
nice. Okay. And we got to see 2 of them. Maria's putt was so awesome.
One might have been from a hot goose. Honk.
Oh, not me, to be clear.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
Hole 17 is another one of the more challenging holes on the course, especially today. It was a ripping headwind. All the bushes you can see on the left-hand side are out of bounds. The camera just passed a mando tree on the right-hand side, so you do not want to error right. You want to play it out wide to open up your second shot to this dogleg right down to this shaded green that is extremely steep and definitely set up for potential to have rollaways. It's a little narrow gap to hit on your second shot, and it's really easy to miss deep or miss short and make approaching the green a lot more difficult.
It's also really hard to get there with a backhand approach. It really calls for a kind of a mid-level touch sidearm, which is a cool skill that we're seeing more and more women have these days.
Paige gets way down there. She will definitely be able to see down to the green,
which is a luxury for sure.
Huge advantage on this hole.
Looks like a destroyer, maybe. It's very flippy if it is. Wow.
Maria has lots of power, but she, being on the right-hand side, is going to make that second shot a little bit more difficult. She's far enough down, though, where she still might be able to easily penetrate the gap to the green. Sarah pushing that left side, hoping the sidearm doesn't skip too much to the right.
Super well done. Hailey going backhand Zeus.
After playing this course over the last 7 years, it's interesting to watch the dynamics of the field change, because this used to be just one of the most difficult holes on the course because nobody had that sidearm, and it definitely showed in scores. You had a major advantage if you felt comfortable with this second shot. But it's the 7th most difficult course or hole on the day, but you can see only 25% of the field with bogey or worse. So a lot of people are able to get that second shot down and set themselves up to, at the very least, for par.
Yeah, Hokom with her pyro might have pushed a little bit deep, but I think she'll have a look. Hailey also scooching down into the circle. Yeah, I think 3 out of 4 people on my card threw sidearm, which is cool. Like you said, you just didn't used to see that as much. Mm-hmm. And now it's almost a requirement to do well. At least, if not a distance sidearm, just kind of a utility approach sidearm. Wow, jump putt.
Unbelievable.
Looking right at it.
No big deal. No big deal on this hole.
Paige has really just turned it on in this back 9. It was pretty tight on the front, but she's just been pulling away. I mean, I don't think she's... Oh, no.
Settles down.
Man, she thought she had it, I think. It was so close.
I think I did too. I mean, she's been so confident on the green. That is such a scary putt to run. It's so steeply downhill. And she just catches front cage. Hokom opting just to lay up.
That's smart. Mm-hmm. That hill just is a disaster waiting to happen if it picks up and rolls.
Hailey struggling a little bit on the back. Can't quite find her momentum.
Yeah, Paige is not having really any mistakes in this back 9.
Feeling really comfortable with her distance drivers, and that is very important out here.
Moving on to our last hole of the day. It is 383 feet, par 3. There is an OB green to the left. All that sidewalk area and with the little picnic tables and stuff is OB on the right side. There is some bushes on the right that make it hard to hang out a hyzer, so a straight shot or a flex shot for the backhand is pretty ideal. Obviously the sidearm is pretty wide open. The wind was pretty tough here. I'm not sure what it was doing for them, but it was kind of like right to left-ish, which maybe it is right now because we're going to see this fade out really hard.
Yeah, you can see the flags right off the tee blowing right to left, but then the flags on the green are left to right. So that's pretty much the story for hole 18. It is a
vortex.
It is a vortex. It's a big downhill, and you go straight back uphill, and it is a perfect place for the wind to funnel.
This looks good. It just needs to not fade too hard. And I think she's circle's edge-ish.
This is a really fun tee shot. Your disc gets a lot of air time, goes over a big gully, definitely within reach, one you want to get every single time, one you empty your bag on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow. This is a lot.
We just watched Hokom with a legendary rollaway at D-Glow. I think it was 43 seconds for her disc to roll. So
I was only about maybe half of that, but still not great.
I feel like that was record breaking.
Hailey putting good power, but not quite hanging it out wide enough, I think, with her Zeus. She'll still have a chance for the birdie, but she didn't really look happy with her shot.
Only Hailey can kind of throw a non-committal sidearm shot that still gets the circle's edge.
Yeah, on a 383-foot hole.
Yeah.
Paige, good effort from there, good power, but hits a little branch and falls straight down. At least it didn't roll.
Only 13% of the field with birdies on this hole.
I mean, that doesn't really surprise me. It's kind of touchy, especially with the wind. Yeah, I kind of like to throw things, out wider and then let them fade in, and having to throw the straight shot or the flex shot can be difficult with all that airspace on the right. The hill just drags your disc down if you throw a backhand poorly.
Yeah, and the wind was definitely playing with disc today. I watched...
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What a great finish.
Maria looking so strong on the putting green. She's come a long way because she used to feel very uncomfy putting.
Yeah, she looks nothing but confident out there today. And a great showing from her. Really, everyone on the lead card playing pretty well, getting under par. Paige slaying it, really. Just pulling away this last bit.
Yeah, she's feeling comfortable with her drivers. We're right in the middle of the season here, so it's the time where you see everyone really start to hit their stride, really get their bags set, especially on a wide open course like this after we've played so many park style and golf course style courses. Well, after hole 18, let's check out the scorecards. Lots of green, lots of birdies. That's what we like to see.
Hailey's struggling a bit on the back there.
Very surprised to see that. I think tomorrow we'll see a hot round from her. That's my educated guess. She's needs some redemption.
We'll put $1 on it. Hailey has a hot round tomorrow. So Paige, 7 down, hot round for today. Missy Gannon staying strong at 6 down and will join us on the leaderboard. Hokom and Maria keeping their spots on the leaderboard as well.
Love to see Maria on the lead card and also staying on the lead card, not letting the nerves get to her. We see Valerie Mandujano shooting hot as well. She'll be on the second card. And we'll play at Sunset Hills again tomorrow. So it's another day full of birdies. We hope you guys enjoyed it today. We are so happy to bring you the coverage along with GK Pro. My name's Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the Two Hot Geese.
Honk.
Honk.